What's good, family? Welcome back to the channel. In this video right here, we actually have this son that exposes his mom on live stream for forcing him into the LGBTQ community. The title of this video is right here: Boy cries out for help on live stream. Then this happens. Let's get straight into this.
And if I'm not a part of it, she'll try to convince me to join it. Cause I...
What are you saying right now?
Facts.
Are you a boy or are you a girl?
Facts.
The number of children.
Okay, bro. Respectfully, this is a girl. Respectfully, logically, come on now.
The number of children who are not only becoming part of the LGBTQ community, but also identifying as homosexual or transgender, has been growing at an astonishing rate. A very reasonable question is to ask, why?
Broken down over time, the LGBT population of America seems to be roughly doubling every generation. According to a recent Gallup poll, less than 1% of Americans born before 1946, that's Joe Biden's generation, identify that way. 2.6% of boomers do, 4.2% of Gen X, 10.5% of millennials, and 20.8% of Gen Z, which means if we follow this trajectory, we will all be gay in 2054. I'm just saying that when things change this much, this fast, people are allowed to ask, what's up with that?
Well, the answer to this question is very simple. Of course, it's not just a random coincidence that more and more young people have an extremely distorted view of human sexuality. There is today a coordinated effort from parents, teachers, politicians, basically everyone on the radical left, to indoctrinate children with the LGBTQ ideology. In August, the Hodge twins, a stand-up comedy and conservative political commentary duo consisting of twin brothers Keith and Kevin Hodge, posted on Instagram a video of a mother and her two boys on a live stream. Unfortunately for the mom, because this was a live stream in front of other people, when her son unexpectedly went off script and confronted her about what she was doing, she couldn't really stop him.
White people that aren't like serial killers like Ted Bundy.
Does your mom say you have to be LGBT?
No.
I think she's what I want to be, but
Go ahead, Lex. Go ahead. Keep talking. Say what you're
Not the
saying.
finger in the air.
my mom doesn't matter if I am gay or lesbian or any of that. She doesn't care. All she cares about is that I'm a part of it. And if I'm not a part of it, she'll try to convince me to join it. Cause I...
What are you saying right now?
Facts.
That I would convince you to join what?
The LGBTQIA plus community.
This video is extremely disturbing in a number of ways. First, this boy is behaving like a hostage, crying out for help. It seems that a live stream like this is the only way he can really tell anyone else about his resistance to what his mother is trying to force upon him.
Like Ted Bundy.
Does your mom say you have to be LGBT?
Second, the second boy with the blue hair, and the blue hair is telling in itself, has apparently already been so indoctrinated by his mother that he first shouts no and then tries to shush his brother.
No, I think she's what I want to be, but
Go ahead, Lex. Go ahead. Keep talking.
Third, notice that the mother at first tries to stop the child, but then probably realizes that since this is a live stream, it would look bad for her to completely shut him down, so she lets him continue talking.
Go ahead, Lex. Go ahead. Keep talking. Say what you're saying.
Fourth, the key part is the boy saying that even if he doesn't want to be a part of the LGBTQ community, and it seems clear that he doesn't, his mom is trying to convince him to join it.
all she cares about is that I'm a part of it. And if I'm not a part of it, she'll try to convince me to join it. Cause I...
What?
Fifth, the mom can't believe the boy is actually telling people about what she's doing. Questions what he's saying, and the boy simply says, facts.
Facts.
What are you saying right now?
Facts.
And finally, the mom pretends she doesn't know what the boy is talking about, and the boy explicitly tells everyone that she is trying to convince him to join the LGBT community.
Wow.
That I would convince you to join what?
The LGBTQIA plus community.
Why is this video so disturbing? Well, it tells us
Bro,
from a
did y'all
first-hand...
hear how fast he said those letters? That means he's been hearing those letters a lot around the household. LGBTQIA plus. I didn't know there was 3 other joints at the end of the LGBTQ.
Community.
Why community?
That I would convince you to join what?
The LGBTQIA plus community.
Why is this video so disturbing? Well, it tells us from a first-hand experience what we already know is happening. There are countless children who, under normal circumstances, would not be part of the LGBTQ community, but are being pressured and brainwashed by their parents into becoming part of this anti-biblical ideology and movement. I hope this boy will receive help in fighting back against what his mom is clearly trying to convince him to do, against his will.
Nah, and if it ain't at the crib, it seems as if it's at the schools too.
Here's another very disturbing video of a mother who has clearly coached her child to say exactly what she wants him to say.
I don't want to win any trophies for it, though. I feel like that's the most unfair way to compete because it's not about winning.
What's it about?
Having fun with your friends for it, though. I feel like that's the most unfair way to compete because it's not about winning.
Kieran seems undeterred with a message now about her journey.
Never stop being you. That's it.
Never stop being you.
There's so many kids that don't even have the opportunity to express who they really are.
Why are you crying? What's happening here? I remember my dad told me when I was in Little League, he said, yo, it doesn't matter what that coach says. When you go in that field, you're going on that field to win. And guess what? I was one of the only kids in Little League hitting outside the park home runs. I'm going in that sport to be the best I can be in that sport to get the results of winning. Who doesn't want to be a champion? Come on. Why is she crying? Why? She must have saved them tears for this interview, bro.
That's it.
Never stop being you.
There's so many kids that don't even have the opportunity to express who they really are. We are acknowledging more people as who they are than taking something away from somebody else.
Again, there are a number of concerning things about this video.
I don't even know the context of this, so let's see.
First, notice the mother mouthing the exact words that her child is saying, which pretty clearly suggests that these lines were rehearsed and memorized together.
Yeah.
For it, though. I feel like that's the most unfair way to compete because it's not about winning.
If you like this video, subscribe to help spread the truth. And second,
Subscribe,
take a look
everyone.
at the
Turn on post
mom's careful
notifications.
performance after this.
There's so many kids that don't even have the opportunity to express who they really are. We are acknowledging more people as who they are than taking something away from somebody else.
So again, rather than this child naturally deciding that he is transgender, it seems very clear that his mother...
Oh, wait, that's a... Oh. That person was born a male. Oh, snap. See, that's the context of this video that I was missing out on.
Than taking something away from somebody else.
So again, rather than this child naturally deciding that he is transgender, it seems very clear that his mother is an LGBTQ activist who has actively pushed and pressured her child to embrace LGBTQ ideologies and become transgender. And from the fact that the mother coached her child to say exactly what the mother wanted the child to say, it seems clear that rather than simply letting the child himself say what he wants to say, the mother wants to make sure her message is communicated to the world. There is now a 10-year-old child who is being...
Because if the child really felt the way they felt, then the child should be able to speak what they want to speak. I don't know whether I should say he or she, but the child should be able to just say and what they actually genuinely feel rather than it being rehearsed and lines given to them by the mom. Let's see what this last story has to talk about.
Raised as being the youngest trans model ever. Did this child decide for himself that he was transgender, or was he pressured and brainwashed into living this way? The answer should be clear by now.
I don't think
10-year-old Noella McMayer is already making her dreams come true. 6 years after she began transitioning, 6 years, okay, the child is 10.
We're supposed to believe that age 4, this boy knew that he was a female and began the process of transitioning. No, at age 4, children know nothing about these kinds of things and need to be taught about God creating humans, male and female. The only reason a child would believe he is transgender and begin the process of transitioning at age 4 is if one or both parents are actively exerting pressure and propaganda upon the child.
Noella already has so many transgender people of all ages contact her for advice and support.
10-year-olds should be looking to mature adults who truly understand the world as God created it for advice and support, not the other way around. The fact that this child's parents are parading the child around as an example and source of wisdom is absolutely despicable.
Noella's biological mother is a social justice advocate who identifies as non-binary, appears to be on hormone replacement therapy, and recently had a cosmetic mastectomy. Both she and her current partner are females who identify as trans-masculine. According to the Point Foundation website, McMahon has been an advocate and educator for transgender children for 10 years, roughly since around the time Noella was born.
Well, isn't that revealing that her parents identify as non-binary?
An educator for transgender children for 10 years, roughly since around the time Noella was born.
Of course, there it is. The child's parents are not neutral parents who one day discovered that the child wanted to be transgender. They are transgender activists who want as many kids as possible to also be transgender, to also affirm themselves in their own lifestyle and decisions. It's sickening, the kinds of life-altering consequences so many children have to suffer because of parents like these.
So they've already decided for him that he's going to get the drugs and the surgery. They decided this while the child was still in diapers. They shoved him down this path and cut off all the exits by publicly declaring his gender identity to the world and putting him in the position of being an inspiration and a force, and a source of wisdom and guidance for the whole LGBT community. He can't change his mind now. Of course he can't, because he never made up his mind to begin with. This isn't his mind choosing any of this. It's his mother manipulating and controlling him.
And that's exactly the problem with making children mascots for the LGBTQ movement at such a young age. These parents are cementing the decisions these children are supposedly making at such a young age. After becoming heroes in the public eye, how can they later choose to disappoint so many people by
Bruh. I had to wait till I was like 10 years old to even get my first phone. I had to wait till I was like 10 or 11, it was around age 10, just to get social media.
changing their mind? Christians, we need to recognize our responsibility to actively teach our children the truth and to not let these anti-biblical ideologies take over their lives apart. Because since the LGBTQ ideology is now the norm, if we aren't teaching our children, the LGBTQ movement will be teaching them.
There is an inexorable link between critical theory, critical race theory, and queer theory, and sexual identity Marxism. And it's really becoming more and more prevalent today, and more prevalent through our schools. So when we talk about the next generation and preparing the next generation, we're hearing a lot in schools and at school board meetings about, critical race theory and critical theory, and that's great. But what's really more significant, I would argue, is the sexual identity Marxism through the LGBTQIA2+ movement.
So from the first statistic that we had seen from the beginning right here about why it's increasing at such a large rate. Some people do also say it's because more people are comfortable with their sexuality since it's more accepted, and that's why more people are coming out. And I can understand that to a certain extent, but we have these 4 cases right here also that are showing there are certain circumstances where it's almost being pushed upon them, like this child said right here. This child clearly said that he is being forced to be a part of it. And then we have another person that started transitioning at 4 years old because their parents were non-binary. So it seems as if it's having a trickling down effect on generations to come. But, hey, comment down below your thoughts on this situation. What you guys believe. It is an open spot down below for different perspectives and opinions. You can also bring any statistics you want to the comment section, or just leave a comment down below how your day is going. You feel what I'm saying? So make sure you do smash the like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you can catch when I post another video just for you guys. I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one the same way you're gonna catch me in the next one. Peace. Love y'all.